Louis Thompson, 4 games into the season, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been good actually. Started with a good win. I think we came away from the Huddersfield game a little bit disappointed not to pick something up, but we're growing. We know where we need to improve, and there's a lot more games to come.
Well, it's only been a few new signings as well, because there's a good chunk of last season's squad here, which obviously makes a big difference.
Yeah, that continuity is important. I think we've got a very good dressing room. Lads enjoy being around each other, so yeah, it's been nice to go into another season without a huge change and turnover, and that can only bode as a positive, I think.
And you personally, I mean, you've had this is your second season now. You've had obviously a good pre-season with the club, and you've played a few games to start with. That's important for any player, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You build foundations in pre-season that stand the test of time over the season. So yeah, I've had a good pre-season. Happy with how I started, and like I say, as long as you keep growing and keep improving, results will come, and that momentum will start to build.
How do you rate your season so far? I mean, you said you've started. Are you happy with where you're at, or are you thinking I can get more out of myself here?
Yeah, definitely. I always think that I can get more, no matter how well you play. I think there's always room for improvement. Like I say, we've still got to strive to be the best that we can be, collectively and individually. So I'll always ask for more from myself, and like I say, I'll try and do the most I can individually to benefit the team.
It's been 4 very different games, 4 very different oppositions so far this season, so it's perhaps too early to get a real handle on where this Stevenage side can go. But I'll ask a question anyway. Where can this Stevenage side go?
I think we were aiming for better than we finished last season. I think we've got to aim for those players at a bare minimum. We know what we're capable of. We saw that last season, and like you've just said, we've kept the large majority of the group from last year, so there's no reason why we can't improve on that. Like I said, we've got to work tirelessly as a group to achieve that, and not stop until we do.
Burton away next. They've had lots of goals at both ends of the pitch, but as we've just said to the boss, get things right at both ends, get the basics right, and you could be on for a good result.
Yeah, that's like any game. You do the basics really well, you always stand a good chance against any team. So we've got to be aware of their threats and implement our style on them, and not get drawn into trying to stop what they do. Like any game, like I said, I think it's important to stay true to our identity and implement our own game plan. We'll be just fine.
And we're coming up against Terence Van Kooten. He's obviously bumping into old players and old teammates all the time, but Terence has obviously fairly recently just gone there, so that's going to add a little bit of fun to the proceedings.
Yeah, like I said, I think I've had a fair few teammates in the past, so most games you're coming about someone that you've brushed shoulders with, so that'll be no different for me personally. Like I said, I wish Terence all the best at wherever he ends up in his career, and like I said, we've just got to focus on what we do, not get drawn into those emotions, and be clinical in our execution.
Just finally, I mean, you were here last season. Obviously, it's been a change of management, a change of coaching team. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been good. You get fresh perspective. You get a handle of things. We've had a good pre-season. We've put a lot of time on the training pitch. Like I say, we know what's expected of us now. And like I say, you've got to embrace change and evolve with new manager, new coaching staff, and allow them to help us. And that's what we've got to work collectively as staff and players to achieve the goals that we set at the start of the season.